Okay, I'm back in the game. I turned up my audio on my recording, so hopefully my um I can have the music much quieter so I don't feel like I have to shout as much. But we'll see. So if this doesn't work out, I might have to redo a part of the game. So I'm just gonna go save. I think I'm saving the same thing twice, but just in case. And that certainly was the same thing twice, but it is time, so let's do this. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I can't wait to read this flipping poem. I really couldn't find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose-leaf paper torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Well, we were just talking to Yuri, so probably I'm gonna go with her. It makes the most sense. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. Does she say that out loud, or does it just look like she's thinking that? I don't know. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Meanwhile, I just picked random sad-sounding words. Okay. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing that I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased how? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself or me or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if it's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? I'm gonna read this in Yuri's voice because it just feels fitting. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers, I flicker back. I'm sorry to have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read? Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. I also like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Lazy. Really? I must have missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance it over after all, but remember the poets often express their own thoughts and feelings and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past. And soon to be left with nothing. That's a more solemn way of putting it. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so... if anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know... I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Lazy. Me too. Alright, I'm gonna go with Sayori next, since she's been my best friend since school, or since, like, elementary school or whatever, so... Alright, I gotta use my customer service voice on this one. Because that's what I used for Sayori. This is a good poem, Lazy. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right, but that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See, it's like I said before, Lazy. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know. Trying new things like this for other people? That's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now, you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. Well, we'll see about that. Dear Sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Okay. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No! Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or a no question. I forgot to do it last night? Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean! I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It just came out... It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah, especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. Well, this was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Alright, I'm gonna do Natsuki next because I know she's not gonna like it either way, so I guess no pressure on that. And then I'll do Monica last because I'm the most worried about impressing her, I think. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically it's not cute enough for your taste. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try, but that's about it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everybody around you do great things can be easily disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay.
for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized.
Well, that's what it means to be a pro. I guess you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you?
Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Alright, last one, Monica.
Hi, Lacey. Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Don't worry, Lazy. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem.
Great job, Lazy. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism? Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively. Both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I've never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring by trying new things.
I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. I think I might have had Monica read one of Lazy's lines back there, but I'm not going back, so. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this.
That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everybody else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write in the way anyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good.
Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know.
I see. Well, let's read it then.
Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the directions the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out, and he on the other side was looking in. So, what do you think?
Well, it's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm really not the right person to ask for feedback.
It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, A lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it, but I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a short story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any kind of progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about this is, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something?
It's clearly about the feeling of giving up.
Oh, it's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute?
I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice.
You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but you really didn't come out nice at all.
Well, I do have a couple of suggestions.
If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Lazy did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all,
excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Lazy liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up.
Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri.
That's not what you were just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Lazy appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours.
How do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself?
No, if I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy.
Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Lazy started showing up.
Natsuki.
Natsuki, that's a little... That doesn't involve you.
I don't know how to do two voices at once.
I don't like fighting guys.
Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they noticed I was standing there. Lazy. She's just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate the simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making all your poems all convoluted for no reason? That shouldn't... The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Lazy. Oh, wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning in the most effectively. Avoiding them is not unnecessarily eliminating yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Lazy?
Well? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course this is going to be... I'll be honest with you guys, I really don't care, so, like, I'm not really invested in this main character dating or getting with either of these people. I just want them all to be friends, so help me, Sayori! Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth, so instead I turn to Yuri. But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori... Yeah, everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. Okay, I'm gonna leave this episode here. Thanks.